No, that's great. Hey, hello.
Hello,
Hi. I recognize you. Have we met before?
I think low.
This is our first time. Okay, okay. You just look so familiar. What's your name?
Yes, because just now you have a class with my son. His name
Oh,
Michael. Yeah,
oh.
so you can see in the background. Yeah,
Okay, that looks the same. I was like, hmm.
yeah.
Well, what can I call you? What's your name?
I'm Kevin.
Kevin. Okay. Well, very nice to meet you, Kevin. My name is Will. Welcome to my evening class. Okay. And so I guess we can get started. Are you ready?
Yes,
All right. Let's get started. So our topic today is going to be the Olympics. And what do you know about the Olympics?
Olympics is a big sport event and hold every 4 years.
Okay.
And this year, the Japan hold these Olympic Games, but the Olympic Games should be held in last year, but because of COVID-19, so it's delayed.
Okay. Very good. That was a good answer. I mean, that was I heard everything, and your choice of words were appropriate, and everything seems to be fine. So let's just go ahead and go to the questions here. Is it good for a country to host the Olympics? Why?
I think different countries um, have different attitude to hold the Olympic Games, especially in recent years. And I remember some country give up to hold some big event, but not the Olympic Games. I forgot about that. Which sport game, which sport event? But
Um,
I think in China are very um, like to hold Olympic Games. I don't know why. Perhaps Olympic Games have some advantages, such as it can um, benefit for the sport industry, and it's also good for our tourists, and also for our culture publicity. Um, so, but I think for some other uh, countries, such as the third world countries, perhaps they are um, don't have the enough money to hold the Olympic Games because Olympic Games always have always need a big budget to hold it. It's really waste of money, perhaps. Not waste of money, but need very um, much money. So that depends on the situation.
okay. Um, you mentioned third world countries. I don't know if the Olympics holds in third world countries. I mean, uh, compared to, let's say, maybe struggling countries, like Greece, when the Olympics was held in Greece, their economy was not very good at the time. But I don't know if I would call them a third world country, or even Brazil. Brazil at the time too was having an issue with economy, but I don't know if they would be called a third world country. But the other thing is too, I wrote everything down you said. So hold on, let me share it with you. Let me grab it. I'm just gonna cut and paste. If I can get it, there we go. All right, you said that I think different countries have different attitudes to hold, especially in recent years. And that's a good sentence because I agree with you. earlier, when the earlier Olympics, let's say in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, the Olympics was a really big deal, and it made money for some countries. It increased their revenue, it increased their exports and imports in their economy. But in past years, in the last 10 to 15 years, it costs more, right? It costs more, and they many countries that hosted the recent Olympics didn't make any money at all. In fact, they were in the hole. Um, what happened to in China when they held the Olympics? What happened to those venues? The venues that they left in the Olympics place. They're called venues.
Venues. What venue? What is you talking
Um,
about?
the question is, what happened to the Chinese venues of the Olympics that was held? And venues
Oh,
are the stadium, the buildings, things that they use for the Olympics because they had to build those. They built those.
yes. I think they are more than 10 cities share the Olympic Games. Because I think in our government's aisle, um, the Olympic Games or such other big event, sport event can give us we can build some facilities such as the picture as you show.
Yeah,
We
this one
can
because
build more.
this was interesting. It was an interesting building. They called it the Bird Cage, and I thought it was or Bird's Nest. I thought it was an amazing architecture design, and that's what I remembered from it. And I always wondered what happened to this stadium, what happened to this place. Do they use it, or do they still have it for something?
Yes, we also use these studios, and because of the winter and the next Winter Olympic Games we are holding in our country, we change this faction. Oh, no, it's not this. This is, yeah, it's not this one. And as you know, near this near this building, we also have a building named Water Cobic. Sorry, I need to search.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and the places called the place that they have these Olympic places are called Olympic Village. So the buildings that are built for the Olympics, they're known as the Olympic Village, which means that's all the venues. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah, and like I said, in some places that they abandon some of these buildings because they have no use for them. They're too expensive to maintain. And so some countries are not able to maintain some of their buildings because no one uses it. And so yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, okay.
And
Um,
I want to say, beside this building, we also have a building to hold the swimming or diving games. The name is water cube. Water cube.
yeah, the
But
water
because
cube. Yeah, the water
yeah, water
cube.
cube.
Yeah.
But because of in this winter we will hold the Winter Olympic Games, so we change the water cube to the to
Yeah, that's an amazing
the
building too.
ice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Water
We change
cube.
the water cube to the ice cube. Ice cube.
You turn it to the ice cube.
Yes, change this water cube to the ice
Ah,
cube. We can hold some other
The Winter
winter
Olympics.
Olympic.
Yeah, the winter
Yes,
winter sports. Wow. Okay.
yes.
Good. Good. It's good. Let's take a look at the rest of your sentence. I remember one country give up big event, not the Olympics. You couldn't remember this one. That's okay. But I think in China, very likes. So this is an interesting sentence. But I think in China, very like very likes to hold Olympic Games. So we can improve that sentence by saying, but in China, we could say we like, because you're Chinese, so you could say that we are together. We like to hold Olympic Games instead of say very like to hold Olympic Games. It just sounds clearer. Perhaps Olympic Games have advantages. It can benefit for industry and good for tourists and also public scenes. Very good examples. But for some other countries, such as third world, they are not. They are something. They don't have enough money to hold Olympic Games. Need budget, waste of money. And I think we talked about the last part. I think that a lot of countries in recent years have had difficulty trying to maintain an Olympic venue. Okay, good, good. Let's go down to number 2. Which sports are your favorite and why in the Olympics?
I think my favorite sport is badminton. Badminton, not in the screen. And also, I think badminton is also Olympic sport. But besides that, I also like football and basketball. I think both are need team. Both are team competition. They need, and they are very exciting. And they also have many audience. And even if our football level is not very good, and most of Chinese know football, and and also we are like table tennis and badminton, because we have good players in these games. They are individual competition, and is a sign of the ability to win the game. So I think Olympic Games is very important, especially for China. Why China like to hold these games? I think because our government need need us to have a team spirit, or they want to gather population, and they want to show our progress in our economy.
Okay, want to show the progress in economy. So a lot of it is image. They want to show the world, China, or at least the Chinese government wants to show the world how developed, how progressive, and how even with other countries are even better. And because of history with China has been very close, they want to kind of open, not necessarily open doors, but to kind of to show what people don't know about what China is. Okay, I can understand. I can understand that. Uh, you, but well, you mentioned some of those sports like badminton, table tennis, and things like that. But I find that playing or being in the Olympics is not so much as winning. Well, winning is good, but I think it's an honor to be able to play in the Olympics. So a lot of athletes, a lot of sports teams, basketball, football, to be chosen to play in the Olympics or to be in the Olympics, it's just an amazing thing, right? To be chosen, and I
Yeah.
think that is more inspirational than Of course, winning is great. They have the medals, but at the same time, just being there and representing your country is a good thing. So yeah, yeah. I watched some of the recent Olympics this past one. I didn't watch all of it because it was so difficult to watch the Olympics because it was postponed and we didn't know when it was coming back, and it was crazy. But I enjoyed what I did watch, and especially the weightlifting. I like the weightlifting. The the weightlifting.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I remember in this year's Olympic, perhaps you have a female player. He
yeah,
got the
yeah,
gold medal, and it's the
y-
first gold medal for your country.
yeah. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing. It was amazing, and it was just amazing to
yeah.
see
It's not
that.
easy.
Amazing to
It's
see
not
that.
easy.
Okay. Now, your country is good at which sports? I think I could answer that for you. And why is it strong at these? Why do you think it's strong? Like, you mentioned table tennis, right? Which is one probably the best, one of your best sports. Badminton, those are best sports. So which ones and why?
Yes, I think the most important reason is we have a very big number of people to play that sport because it's very easy to have table tennis to play the table tennis. We just need a table and a ball and what and it's very
Paddle,
easy to
a paddle.
yes because uh, as you know when the new Republic of China built in 1949, we are a very poor country. So the economy is very bad. So we don't have enough money to build big play court for some other games such as football and basketball. But it's very easy to have to have the facility to play badminton or play table tennis. So I think after that, table tennis is perhaps is our traditional games. So other people think we are the number one in this game. So nobody will give up that, and nobody uh, can can win us because we are our government also focus on the gold medal. If we lose the gold medal, perhaps it's not good for the individual. I'm not means our government will punish the player, but I think to win the gold medal is our order.
Hmm. Okay. I was just looking up on the computer, and the top three gold medals for China for sports is
Yes, yes.
diving, and shooting.
Shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, and so those are the top three in China for gold medals. Um, and uh, and the fourth one is badminton. The fourth one was badminton. Um, and then
But table tennis.
table tennis. I'm sorry. Badminton was number five. Table tennis is number four. So table tennis is number four. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes. So yeah. So table tennis was number four. So number four right here, and then badminton was number five. So that's your top five according to at least the computer here. Um, but you mentioned how easy it is to just grab a table, have a ball, have a paddle, hit back and forth. One of the sports that is not necessarily considered by all was football or soccer, right? And soccer or football was considered the poor man's sport. It's a poor man's sport.
Common.
The reason is you can play soccer and all you need was a ball or even whatever it is. Whatever you could play with a fruit. You could play with a
Yeah.
coconut, and a lot of South American countries, and also South African, African countries, they had no stadium, they had no shoes, right? No
Yeah.
shoes, but they would have a ball and they would just kick the ball. They would kick the ball back and forth, and it's good that you mentioned table tennis and things like that because when when we don't have a lot of things, we create things to entertain ourselves, to be productive, to do things, to invent things. And I think that's why China is really good at a lot of these sports. Is because they had nothing, they have no other opportunities, and so they play, and they play. And I think that's a really good trait to have, just like these countries that have played soccer or football. Okay.
Yes, just now you mentioned the soccer perhaps is the common sport, but why Chinese can't play it very well?
I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know.
Yes, yes. Our football team is very is not very good. But I think uh, besides others the facility, I think perhaps our people's physical is not very suitable for play soccer compared to the Africa or the South America. I think the body
Yeah.
constitution is more suitable to play that.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, physical genetics, especially with cultures, do matter, right? They do matter, and so that could also be a possible thing. Yeah. Does your country do better at summer or winter? Do you think?
I think yes, I think in it's summer. Be-
Okay.
because I think China, yes, our country is very big, and we also have some very lost area, such as in our northeast, but we also have some cities that are located in beside uh, the mainland. We have a very warm climate, but I think winter is not good for play games. So we can saw and there are many countries who are very good in Winter Olympics in Europe or American because they are located in very low temperature area. So um, I think not only my country but also your country, we are also uh, good in summer games, not good in winter.
Yeah, we're not very good winter games. Yeah, and most people that live in colder climates like Northern Europe, like Denmark, Finland, Iceland, those countries, what do they do for fun, just for fun? Well, they go ski, right? They go
Yeah,
ski, they go skate because they have ice, they have snow. And so, it's something that, the sport
yes,
comes from whatever resources they have, just like swimming,
yeah,
right? You don't see a lot of competitors in Finland and Denmark for swimming. You usually see those in the summer areas, where there's a little warmer climate, because all they do is swim. So there would be a difference there. Okay, and our last question for this one is: if you had to change one Olympic sport, which sport would you take away, and which sport would you add?
Okay. Frankly speaking, I don't have many idea about that. But if I have the right to take away a sport, I think perhaps it's weightlifting. Why is weightlifting? Because I think the weightlifting is only based on physical situation. It was based on our body. It's stronger a lot. Uh, Besides that, practice is more or less is not work, I think. And also, weightlifting is very harmful for the player's body, and it's not useful. It's not useful, and it never it not have the chance to popular in the population. because there are less people to do that sport. Just for the Olympic Games or some other match, it can be popular in the population.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good. Good. If it's an interesting question, and I don't know a lot of the games that are in and not in the Olympics, but there is one sport that I don't like is baseball. Is baseball. I mean, it's an American sport. It's an American, and it's a boring sport. I mean, I've never I when I was a little child, when I was small, I used to watch it and I used to play baseball. But as I grew up, I realized how boring baseball is. How boring it is. And I don't think it's a sport that should be included because a lot of countries don't play baseball. A lot of countries
Yeah.
don't play baseball compared to football. And I think it's limiting other countries. That's why the U.S. or certain places that do play baseball gets the medal. Because
Yes.
they have that sport. Okay. Well, Kevin, it was a pleasure to meet you. It's time to go. Do you have any questions for me before I go?
No. Thank you very
No. All
much.
right. You have a pleasant night, and I hope to see you again. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.